All right, so let's start by looking at materials we're going to use for this. So this is a 2x8 that I have cut into 1.5 inch strips. The thing about 2x8s and 2x10s and 2x12s, they're made out of Douglas fir. Douglas fir is stronger than what your traditional. And then this right here, this is I don't even know what you call this. It's available at Home Depot. I think it's like a yellow pine that is it's used for underneath box springs. It's like they're bed boards. And so I've cut these into 3/4 inch strips, 4 of them, and then a little strip here. Just that's what was left over. Over here, I got these are 1.5 by 1.5, and I'm left over with a nice 1.5 inch by, I think it's probably about 3/4 inch piece of wood. So that's the material we're going to start using. And then of course behind it we have this is 1/4 inch or 5 point something millimeter plywood. It's, I don't know, just plywood, nothing special. And you're probably thinking to yourself, man, that's way too thin. You're not gonna be able to make a bed frame out of that. Well, I'll show you how to do it. And the nice part about it is this is super light. So this is the DeWalt saw. I bought this 10-12 years ago. I bought top of the line contractor grade tools just because I knew I was going to be building several houses and a bunch of other stuff. This has a fence and it has a little tape measure here. And you see the last cut I just made was a 3/4 inch strips, and so I've got this fence set so that it's 3/4 of an inch away from here, and you push the board through. Be safe. With table saws, you can lose fingers. That's really bad. So just never ever, fingers never go near the blade when especially when it's spinning. Always use a push stick. All right, so here's our first checkpoint with our progress. So get started. Take this tape measure out of here. Get started. We have created a board, taken one of these bed boards, and we've trimmed it so that it goes all the way across. So this provides since this is designed to have your box spring resting on it, certainly will hold you sleeping on it. So we're going to leave this right here. I might put a screw in right here just into this plastic. It doesn't really matter. It's not going to move. So we have this 1.5 by 1.5 inch pieces, which go up to the front. And up here in the front, you just have two sort of little legs. Let me show you that. I have notched it, so I just sort of cut a square out of here. So it goes, you can see I got it glued together. That's really not going anywhere. As far as getting it level, some of this is by eye. You can't, because the car is not sitting level and nothing in a car is square. You just kind of have to guess. I sort of guessed basically. So that's kind of what we're looking at right there. So the thing we're going to want to do, I'm just going to show you this. So you see when you're laying on this, this will sag. So what we're going to put some blocks under here to hold it up in the middle. So we'll basically cut the span in half so it'll be stronger. Same thing over here. We'll probably cut some custom spacer blocks in here. We're going to put a piece across the middle here, and we're going to turn this into sort of a little storage area, one mini storage area, one big storage area. I'll get into that. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. This is my mental model of how this wasn't like this, so I have to figure out what to do. All right, let's do another checkpoint here. So we've added our spacers so that it sits directly in the chassis. We have added a little ear up there to make the top a little wider. There's a couple of cross pieces. This tire, theoretically, will still come out through this. Can kind of take it, slide it in. Should be just fine, hopefully. All right, so let's do a little checkpoint here. It's very windy today. Sorry about the wind noise, but we have pretty much completed this. This is we've turned this into sort of 3 separate removable panels. The bottom of the removable panels kind of looks like this. We've glued and screwed some strapping, and you can see in the middle we've created some places so that strapping sort of touches right there, so it gives it some support crosswise. Got a hole in there so you can put your finger in. This spare tire will come right out through that hole without any trouble at all. I'm probably not going to use any hinges. I don't think we need to. So that's kind of there. If you go into the front, I'll show you what I did. I made 2 separate compartments. So the one where the footwell area is, and here is now a nice, really big compartment. I made it so that sort of put this piece here, so that, you know, if you get your underwear stuck in there, you're not going to see underwear hanging out when you open the door. So it gives the thing a little bit of privacy there. And this is the same kind of treatment. It's got some reinforcements under it. And then this is where the space where the seat used to be. I put a piece in there so that whatever's in here can't sort of roll into the other compartment. But that's pretty big. It's you definitely fit clothes or who knows what in there. So why don't we have a moment of truth to see if this thing can actually hold up. So I'm going to climb in here. Why don't we close the door since we can. Come on. Oh, I just locked myself in, so now I'm screwed. Look at this, it even has a nice grab handle. So I'm sitting here with my back leaning up against the driver's seat. And you know what, this isn't too terrible. I have, you can see this, I actually have a couple inches above my head. So if this were a real mattress sitting up a little higher, I'd probably just barely bump my head, but I think it's pretty good. Let's see if I can use my ninja-like moves to get into the office seat. Oh yeah, that's nice. Let's see if we can get into cubbies. Probably have to put another hole right there so I can use the finger hole in there. That's cool. So I get in there. Yeah. Cushion's a little bit in the way, but yeah, that's not too bad though. So we've access to both of those cubbies if you can move the cushions around. Okay, so I have extricated myself from the vehicle, and after having closed that door on myself, it turns out there really is no way to open it from the inside. I thought maybe there'd be a latch or something, but the only latch is on the outside. So if you accidentally shut this door on you, you can only get out through one of the side doors. Okay, and so here's the mattress project that we did. So this was basically a full size, it was a twin bed that I ordered. So it comes in it's memory foam, comes in a tiny little box and blows itself up after you unpack it. Underneath it looks like this. So this was a 10-inch piece of foam. I decided to go with 10 instead of 8 just to make sure, because the bed that I sleep in normally has 10 inches of foam. I figure worst case, if you look, this actually comes off. So if it turns out this is too thick, I'll just rip this off and use the bottom, or I could always chop off, 2 inches from the bottom. Anyway, so we'll go around here. You can see I made this one just a little bit bigger to fill up sort of the extra space here next to the door. And this lifts up very nicely, and so you can get into the thing underneath here.